Hey, good morning, everybody. It is Monday, and I am Carla Archer, your online business guide, and we are back for another Marketing Momentum Monday Live. Every Monday, I go live at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, noon Eastern Standard Time, to bring in some conversations, open the doors for you to be able to come and ask questions in and around how you can create momentum inside your business, how you can create more sales in your business using your pockets of times that you have most effectively and most efficiently. Because I don't know about you, but I spend a lot of time all over the place, chasing squirrels, wondering what the next best option was for me inside of my business. And I really didn't have a clear understanding, a clear vision of how my marketing pieces work together. And when I say marketing pieces, I mean things like your Facebook page, if that's what you're using, like your profile page. And maybe if you have an email list, you've been considering that. Or if you have a free piece of content, if you have a Facebook group, how can you maximize your efforts, those pockets of efforts? And I like to see it like building bridges between all of these endeavors so that people have an easy pathway from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. Because in marketing and on social media marketing, visibility is really key. And so when we're starting to strategize about how can we create visibility for our audience, for our ideal audience, so that the content that you're creating is seen by the right people as frequently as possible? So that opens the door for you to be able to have conversations, make offers to your Facebook groups, to your products, to your services, to your coaching, if that's what you do, to something that you're giving away, so that you can be nurturing that relationship. And oftentimes people will be like, oh, I'm not just here to nurture relationships. You're here to make sales. Yeah, absolutely, we are. And it depends. Like, I come from an alignment marketing background where I've chosen that this is the style of marketing that I'm using because I was doing the other kind of marketing before. It was a numbers game. I could do it, but there was something inside of me at my core that just wasn't sitting really well with that. And when I discovered that, you know what, there's another way that I could do this where I can show up and create sales, help support people, feel good about myself on a daily basis, I thought that seems a heck of a lot better for me. And I know talking with a lot of you inside of this community, you feel the same way. Let me know if that's how you feel too. You've been out there, you're either your companies or you're another coach maybe that you've been working with has just said, make a list of a bunch of people and get out there and have conversations with them. Talk to everybody that you know. And sure, that can work, but that kind of peters off after a while. And that is not a sustainable business model to be able to continue making sales, to be able to build a team of people who are truly interested, to create residual income, to whatever it is that you want to achieve inside of your business. So what we're here to do inside of your online business guide is really to build those bridges, to streamline your busy business efforts, to maximize your time and make more sales like a pro. So who doesn't want that, right? Yes, absolutely we do, because I know you're here because you love what you do. You have a special calling to do what you are doing, because other people would just be spending their time reading books or playing with the dog or watching Netflix or doing nothing. And you've chosen, hey, you know what? My valuable pockets of time, I want to build this business. I know inside of me that I am capable, and we are here to achieve that together. And as your guide, I am here to show you what I've experienced and what has helped me, and maybe to reduce time that you're spending on your efforts, maybe to reduce the frustration that you're experiencing with your efforts, and offer you some tips and ways that I've seen, oh, okay, I'm seeing how this is coming together. So last week, we really dove into the different pieces, and I'm going to share my screen here for you because I am very visual and I like to be able to see the vision of what's going on. So I shared with you my 5-step sales success simplified process and outlined what I see as 5 fundamental areas of your business that I want to be building bridges in between and how they all work together. So we started with identifying your audience. Your content creation comes from understanding who your audience is. We're going to go a little deeper into this. From content creation, we can build out a lead magnet that's appropriate. It's a giveaway. It's a piece of value that your audience is going to be raising their hand for. And in turn, that offering of that lead magnet, and that's delivered through an option where you can have people opt in with their email address. allows you to build your email list. And building your email list is so important to your business because it's an asset that you own. It's a great place where you can have deeper conversations, build your relationship, and make offers inside of your email list. You're not reliant on social media, even though we will use different platforms inside of social media to be able to create more visibility. We're really looking to build that email list because that is yours. It's secure. You own that. It's a great way to reach out to people. And email isn't dead, even though a lot of people have oftentimes said, oh, I don't think people read their emails. It's a great thing to have and something that you will want to consider if you haven't already, looking at how you can start to create and build your email list. And then on social media, using things like Facebook groups and different platforms like Pinterest, I like to talk about. You may choose TikTok, LinkedIn, but again, wherever you decide that you're going, not to overextend yourself, and do one thing really good. Build a solid community, build a solid visibility on one platform, and then you can move into other platforms as well. So let's talk about this just a little bit more. I'm just going to X out of this, and we're going to come over here. And we're going to come into this whole circle. So we're talking really today, I promised you that we're going to be talking about, I'm just going to come back here, and we're going to be talking about, how we can really build that personal brand and why that's most important. Because identifying your audience, building your brand is not only important for you, but it's very important for your audience, because what it does is it delivers a clear message to them of who you are and how you serve them. And otherwise, people are left wondering, yeah, I don't know, they're doing something. She's building a business over there. He's building a business over here. He's using some kind of product. I don't know what it is. I don't really know what they do. And so a confused mind doesn't make a decision. I apologize. I just had to close that because the light's shining right in my eyes. But a confused mind doesn't make a decision. So you may have been spending time creating posts and being on social media and connecting with a few people. Maybe you showed up to social media new to your business and you have a list of friends and you really haven't vetted them. You haven't gone through your friends list and went, oh yeah, like let's face facts, probably 75% of these people who are my friends have no interest in what it is that I'm doing or what I'm offering. They're relatives, they're old friends from high school. But they may down the line, if they see enough, they may raise their hand, and that's okay. But they're not your serious potential buyers, really, truly. And so we want to be able to really start at that place where we discover who are we and who do we serve and how. And that might seem like, well, I don't really want to pick that because then I'm going to miss out on all kinds of things. But once again, a confused mind does not make a decision. So you are better to niche down who your audience is in order to create your content and to have your one-liner and show up powerfully who you serve than to just be all over the place with everything. And the other thing about that too is that don't fear that if you're having a conversation that opens the door to maybe one of your products or services, that doesn't mean there may not be a chance to introduce something else, that they may not need it themselves, or maybe their spouse or somebody that they know, and you be someone that they are referring people to, but you would lead with one product. So let's frame that out for you a little bit more. Maybe you, I use sleep as that example all the time. Maybe you struggled with sleep and you found something that helped you with sleep. And so you're like, that's my ticket. But my company offers like 100 different things that can help me run faster and that can help me not be moody and can help my skin and can help with all kinds of different things. But I want to talk about all of that. Well, do you really? Because is your story that you're going to be sharing in relation to that? Because you're creating relatability. When you discover who your audience is, you're just creating relatability when you show up on social media. So if your story doesn't align with the product or services that you're putting at the forefront, I won't say representing as a whole, because you could share with somebody, hey, you're having some trouble with your skin. I see that, we have the skin product. It's not what I've used. Maybe I haven't used it at all, but some of my friends have. This is over here. But what's more powerful is your own story. And you've probably heard that regardless of whether you're in network marketing or not, that your own story is incredibly powerful. So start there. That's the starting point. Because what this does for you is it allows you to be able to create content that you're connected to. You can show up on social media feeling confident and wanting to create consistency with the showing up because your story is about you and what you're sharing is about you, and you're relating to other people who were where you used to be or in the process of moving through that or have found the results, right? I always say I'm not talking to car people about kittens or cat people about dogs. Let's talk about what we know and surround ourselves with people who are interested in that. So that's really the very first bridge of everything that you're doing inside of your business. Because when you identify who your ideal audience is and how you serve them and what their main problems are, then you can start to go, okay, this is where I'm going to start to create content in and around this conversation. And this is where I can create a lead magnet that will provide value for them, that will have people raising their hands and wanting this. This is where I can have conversations inside of my email without feeling like a weirdo because I'm talking about stuff I don't really know. And you can just be yourself, use your own language inside of your emails and have conversations, and that you can support them deeper. Maybe if you decide later you're going to, or now you're going to have a Facebook group, you can support them a little deeper in there. So it doesn't create as much resistance for you, because if you are asked to do something that you know nothing about, like if you ask me to go into a classroom and teach grade 12 calculus, I'm probably not going to show up because I don't know how to teach that. I'm not familiar enough with calculus and how it works, right? So very relevant to you. Why would you want to show up consistently? Why would you want to show up at all if you are talking about something that you know nothing about, that feels uncomfortable for you, that challenges you at an internal level, at your core values? If you're being compromised there, what piece of you is going to want to show up for that? And some of you may be going, oh, well, that explains it. Maybe that explains why I feel like I've been in this constant state of struggle or internal struggle about showing up for my business, and I'm not creating consistency. And then I'm beating myself up about it over here on the other side, when in fact, it could just take a small tweak to make some adjustments to who your ideal audience is so that you truly feel connected with who they are and you can show up authentically and consistently, honoring your core values and being the person that you are meant to be to support others. Whoa, doesn't that sound so much better? Let me know if that does. Because there's nothing worse than feeling like you're in resistance to what is going on for you inside of your business. So let me just give you an example of one of the clients that I worked with this week. I offer pay-as-you-go coaching, and my pay-as-you-go coaching program is an hourly rate. And you can hire me for 1 hour. You can hire me for as many hours as you would like based on what it is that you need. And we generally start with wherever you are at. And for many people, it's discovering who their ideal audience is. Because as I showed you on those 5 different pieces of that wheel, until you know who your ideal audience is, everything else that you're creating is your bridges between that is not going to feel great. You're not going to really truly understand who your audience is, and likelihood that you're going to spend way more time than is necessary trying to come up with concepts and ideas for creating and crafting your content for social media. And let's say a lead magnet, for example. Just going to come over here. Good morning. Thanks for joining in. So when you really take a look at who your ideal audience is, that's when you create this discovery. So what I did with my client, and she hired me for an hour to help to assist her with her discovery of who she is and who she's serving and what product she's leading with. And I gave her some preliminary questions to go through and answer, because I want to be able to maximize our time together as much as possible. And so it was really a path of her discovering, what brought her to her product, what kind of results did she get, what kind of feelings did she have, what was going on for her in those moments before discovery, during the process, and in the end. And why that's so relative is because we can really use that knowledge, your connection with yourself at a truly deeper level, to be able to really niche down who your ideal audience is. So through our discovery session together, our pay-as-you-go coaching, we then just went through those questions, and she gave me the answers that she had going on, and we really tossed those ideas around and came down to a place where then we could take that information over to ChatGPT to get some AI assistance to broaden our thoughts on and the concepts on who our ideal audience is. So let's just say, I'm going to use this example without a name. They were thinking that maybe sleep was going to be the direction that they were going in. And we discovered that really her story was more in relation to a different product and service that her company has to offer, because that's what she used. That was her experience. This was her growth through the process of using this product or service. And throughout the entire experience, the question kept coming up: how does this feel for you? Does this feel authentic? Does this feel like you're connected to what we're talking about here? And it just birthed itself in that discovery of, oh, maybe we don't look at it that way. I'll take myself for an example. I came to network marketing through a health and wellness company and a pair of socks that helped me with something. And it was supposed to help me with my physical fitness. I was a fitness instructor at the time, help me with my recovery and feeling better and all of those different things. And it did. But what I didn't know that it was going to do was it really helped me with my sinuses. And it helped me with my PMS, and it helped me with a lot of other things that I didn't realize. So my story really started to grow, and what became, a different direction than I thought it was originally. Because when I explored what I was dealing with and the results that I achieved with this product and service, my messaging changed, because I discovered inside of there, there's an audience here that I really want to connect with. I want to connect with them at this level. This is my passion. At my core, this is what feels right for me. Now you might think, gosh, that seems like a lot, or maybe I can just skip over that. But it's like building a house on a really rocky foundation. You can go out there and you can post and you can create value and you can set up your email list, and you're going to start to see the resistance. You're going to start to see the crumbling. You're going to start to feel unenthused about showing up every day. You're not going to have the passion. When you're thinking about reaching out to people, you're going to feel like you don't want to, because you don't feel really aligned with what it is that you're doing, and you're feeling compromised. Whereas when you identify who your true self is at your core and who you are at your essence, to get started with, to connect with people, then you're going to want to pursue this more. You're going to feel excited. You're going to feel enthusiastic about what it is that you're doing. And one of my coaches said to me, and I think this is just a great way of putting it, let me know if you love this too. She said, you are dating this ideal audience, right? And you don't have to be married to it. It's not like, okay, you pick this, that's it, we're going to tattoo it on your face. This is a starting point for you to get familiar with who it is that you're working with. And as you're building your audience, as you're engaging with people who are interested in what it is you have to offer, who are relatable to you, who are one or two steps behind you, that audience is going to help you grow to see more of what they need, so that you can be growing in your business all the time, right? When you look at other entrepreneurs and business builders on social media, and you might think, oh my God, they got so many things going on. They all started at one place, and they layer and they layer and they layer and they add. So you don't have to be all of that at once. You can hold the vision of what it is that you would like to be, see that end result, and come back to where you are now. And if you haven't yet identified who your ideal audience is, that is step number one. And something that I heard about and that I avoided for a long time, which explained the reasons why I wasn't seeing the success that I wanted, because people were unclear about what I was doing. And more so, it was detrimental to me. It was detrimental to me and how I was able to show up on a daily basis, because I was feeling compromised. I was feeling like this just doesn't feel right. I haven't landed. I haven't made a choice about something. And one of the best things I ever did was make that decision to go, okay, I'm going to, serve people. I want to be a guide, because at the time I was like, I don't feel like I'm a coach, because I'm exploring this journey of growing and building on social media too, like so many others are. I'm just one or two steps ahead. So when I decided to be your online business guide, that was a pivotal moment for me because I owned that. I made a decision. Did I know what that was going to look like? Did I know that in 2 years' time, which was last year, that I would do content every month and coach and train? Did I know that I would grow into pay-as-you-go coaching and that I'm going to be creating my own coaching programs and my own programs and lead magnets? No, I didn't. But I held the vision that I knew that the knowledge that I had, there had to be other people out there who were like me in the same position going, how do I do this? Like, how do I build a business on social media? And I knew that there were going to be people that I would be relatable to. There's going to be people who don't like me, don't like my style, don't like the way I talk, the way I look, don't like what I have to say. That's okay, because the people who do connect with me, who do relate to me, are going to show up. And I connect with people who are in that environment, in that space of growth and learning, and I'm building my audience of those people. And not just anybody. It's people who've raised their hand, who've shown a sign that, hey, you know what, we're interested in doing something to support ourselves, to take that next step, to be growing inside of our business so that we can make more sales. Now, when that happens, when you make a decision about your audience, you now know what's going on for them. What are their pillar problems? And when you understand what their pillar problems are, that's where you can create content from. So it's not like the randomness of every day about what do I post today? You know exactly what you're going to be able to post, and understanding that there's a variety of different ways that you can post, you can create and craft your content in the moment. You can create and craft your content in batches. And what I recommend and what I'm doing is that I'm creating content for 4 months based on their 4 pillars. And then I rinse and repeat. And then I rinse and repeat. So 3 times a year, I'm going to use that same content concepts because I'm continually building my audience, because people will see things once, but that doesn't mean that they absorbed it. It's a multitude of times that people will see it over and over. So you don't have to worry about being repetitive. 1 month I could do a post, the next month I could do a video, I could do something different, or I could do the exact same thing, truly. And so what I've done there is really freed myself up with time, because now I know what it is that I'm talking about by discovering my ideal audience and their pillar problems. My content, I can create and craft that. But not only can I create and craft that for 4 months, I created and crafted that for the entire year. So now I can free up the time, the space inside of my mind, the energy that it takes to create content and to be posting every day is freed up so that I can be working on that next step to create and craft that next bridge over into my lead magnet. Okay, so now we know the pillar problems. Let's pick one of those pillar problems. Let's create a lead magnet in and around that. And I have training inside of the guides inside of your online business guide group. And if you're not yet a member, come on over and jump in. There's a free library of content training that'll walk you through these processes, through these concepts. And know that I'm always here for you for a 15-minute one-on-one call. If you want to hop on, we can have some conversation. I can show you around the group. We can discover where you are right now and help you move into where you want to go. Or jump into my pay-as-you-go coaching program, where you can hire me for an hour and we will work together. And again, it's totally up to you. My one client I mentioned earlier, we worked together for that hour. I gave her the questions to prepare for beforehand. We spent our hour together. We discovered what she found inside of those questions. We pulled out who her ideal audience could be and who she could be to them. And then we took it to ChatGPT. I provided her with a list of prompts that she can use to ask ChatGPT to be able to do things like identify who that ideal audience is, who are you in relation to them, what are their pillar problems, what is your one-liner for your Facebook profile, what would you name a Facebook group based on this using keywords that people would be looking for. Can you help me to write my about section for my Facebook group? And it goes on and on and on. So all of those things that you would be spending an arduous amount of time thinking about, wondering how you do it, not knowing what questions to ask, ChatGPT, these prompts will get you in momentum. And suddenly you will be seeing very clearly what it is providing back to you that is standing out to you and is so appealing. It's like, that's me. That's who I am. That's who my audience is. I like that. I can use this. I can build on this. And you can get into action. This is what will get you into action. This is why you are not making sales, because it's hard to get into action when you don't know who your ideal audience is and you have resistance inside of you because you feel like you're kind of all over the place and you have not settled in with who you are and who it is that you serve. And again, no fear of losing out on anything, because when you do this, your whole game changes. Your life becomes so much simpler. Yes, there's still going to be work. There's still going to be some learning to do. Absolutely. But you have a path. You're not in the woods going, I don't know, I can't see the path. You can see the path. And then it's for you to make the choices of what's the next step, what's the next step, what's the next step. And I'm here to support you, either inside the group, in the guides, in my free training. If you want to book me for a pay-as-you-go call, we can work together that way as well. So this, I hope, was helpful for you to really connect to that piece of why your ideal audience is so important, because I want to start there. You know, we've been talking this way since the beginning of January, talking about what your marketing strategy looks like, how you can build bridges between your efforts, really highlighting to you that, you know, these are the major pieces and how they work together, and then backing it up to the beginning. And if you're at the next step where you're ready to create your lead magnet, you're ready to do that, I've got some training inside of the group. I can help to support you with that as well. You can hire me and we can get that lead magnet created. We can get it into a program. I use Aweber, where you can actually get started for free if you wanted to, and create that lead magnet so that you can be offering it to people. There's so much that we can do inside of our business, but it's really about the simplicity of those pieces, because it's easy to get tangled up in every other option, all the blah, 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 blah that's out there, right? But when we can just break away from all of that and just see the pieces clearly and go, okay, let's identify my audience. Let's make a choice in and around that. Let's get my profile page cleaned up and set up so that that's what it's representing. If I have a Facebook group in existence, we're going to revamp that. We're going to leave the people in there. We're going to get going with that. We're going to create a lead magnet now so that we can be giving away a piece of value, and that your content, because the content you're creating is in relation to your lead magnet, you can be making the offer to that lead magnet all the time. And so you're starting to see the pieces coming together, starting to see the bridges forming, because now when you're creating content, you have the right audience that you're in front of. They're raising their hand because in your content, you're saying, hey, I've got this over here. Do you want it? They're raising their hand. They're opting in for it. Now they're on your email list. Now you're able from your email list to make other invitations to your Facebook group. You can make invitations to whatever it is that you really want to do. Calendar links so that they can talk to you. And the snowball just rolls. The snowball rolls. But right now you're pushing the snowball up the hill because you don't have your foundation of your ideal audience created and understanding who they are, who you are in relation to them, and what their pillar problems are. And so if you want to work on that piece, if you're ready, if you're sick and tired of running around like a chicken with your head cut off, or feeling distressed because you are not aligned and you know it at your core, that you are not aligned with what it is that you're doing, it could just be a 1-hour session that we could work together and we can tweak that. And I can't say that you will 100%, but what I've seen, the results of my clients so far is just like a ray of light coming out of their face when they're like, oh my gosh, okay, I get it. I get this now and I can make some choices. I feel connected to this. This feels good. I feel like I can do this. And you want to create that continuous momentum progression inside of your business. So was this helpful? Let me know if this was helpful for you. I'm going to put a link down below for my calendar link if you want to book a 15-minute call. Let's do that. Let's connect. If you're new to the community or you've just found my community, make sure that you join so you can get access to more training like this. And my one-on-one calls are not pressure calls. This is about understanding where you're at and what it is that you need. and letting me help you to see what's available for you. And then you get to make the choice in and around what it is that you want to do. So book that one-on-one time with me if you haven't done so already. If you're interested in the pay-as-you-go coaching, say pay-as-you-go coaching down below, or shoot me a message and let me know, and I can let you know what the details are in respects to that. We'll decide where you're at. We'll probably book a 15-minute call, decide where you're at, what it is you want to focus on. I'll give you any preliminary work that we'll do before the meeting, and then we can set up a time where we can meet for that 1 hour and work together effectively and efficiently to create some momentum inside of your business. Now, next week, Kim Ward is back with us. Join us on Monday. As I mentioned, every Monday I am here at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, noon Eastern Standard Time. Kim Ward is here, and we're talking about the Pinterest piece of this puzzle. Now, I mentioned to you that your social media is a piece of that 5 steps, and it's a decision about where you're going to be spending your time. And I've really enjoyed Pinterest for the search engine capabilities, how it works, how it functions for us to be able to, again, build those bridges, build our email list, build our Facebook groups, open the door to more conversations, and so on and so forth. And so we're going to talk about how that fits in to your strategy, if at all. So just come and hear about that, see what's possible for you. If not now, maybe later. And this week, as always, Techie Tuesdays coming up. I'm going to be sharing with you some automation tools that I've been using to send friend requests, because as we talked about, when we identify our ideal audience, we want to be building our audience of the people who are interested, who are going to be people we want to connect with, who will want to hear what we have to share, and how to automate a lot of those functions, keep my inbox organized, and really how I protect my growing business on Facebook. Too many of us are running around without any protection on our Facebook groups. And last week with that little blip, it kind of gave everybody a little bit of heart palpitations. And I was happy to know that, you know what, if I had to rebuild, I have a way that I can do so very, very quickly. And one last offer that I have for you tonight at 5 p.m. PST is an energy boosting session. Some of my colleagues and mentors who are like us, we understand that there's tools, we understand that there's systems, we understand that we're building a business, but we also understand that we are aligned, we are respecting our core values, and we are taking care of ourselves as entrepreneurs. And they're offering their skills, their talents as business owners in the energy boosting realm, because they also use different holistic methods. And this isn't a pitch, this is simply we're going to be boosting our energy and boosting our energy in this session. It's going to be a different leader every week. And it starts this Monday and it goes every Monday at 5 p.m. PST. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to put a link down below. You can get registered. You can select which Mondays you want to register for. You can pick them all. They have them through the month till the 1st of April. And this is just a really good way for you to be able to honor yourself and to remain in that self-care, because what you're doing in your business is demanding of you, right? And it's a balance between your efforts that you're putting out towards the growth of your business and keeping care of yourself, which I think is of utmost importance. And reason why Stacey Hall comes in at the 4th Monday of every month into our community, and we really talk about being aligned with yourself, because you can't have the one without the other. And so creating the balance within you will help you to create the success that you want inside of your business. So thanks again for being here. Have a great week. I look forward to seeing you more inside of the community this week. And from hearing from you, book your one-on-one session with me and let me know if you're ready. If you're tired of being stuck, let's hop into that pay-as-you-go coaching and let's get you creating momentum so that you can build that business that you truly want and that I know that you were made for. Take good care. Talk soon.